ginger, ginger. Go follow your lead, you be leader, leader. Any kill it, carry something with it down. But your own is big. Make a put up for your body, baby. No be poison. Anytime when you call, baby. Go the call, do la rap, you like. For your body, baby. No be poison. Anytime when you call, baby. Go the call, do la rap, you like. I'm coming out to Gaza, we day on deck, with the fresh, I be I be content, yeah. Anywhere where I keep it 100, yeah. I want to buy Ruby, see me when you bum back, no. Judge to nobody but the Malaco. Fish plenty for ocean, that session be like Morocco. I go, do you get down now, up, up. Can't you see what you carry, baby, but you rock up. If I do you come and you want sugar, I go rock with me. I go keep a rocky giddy, I go keep your company. That jelly one in the sun, go you come myself for me. No, you want me to give you ratata when you trouble me. Trouble me, trouble me. Why you today trouble me? You know, see me, I don't know my nobody if you couple me. Go do ratata, baby, come to me. I'm a tough fella, me pop. All of my you come with me. Ginger, ginger, make me ginger, ginger. Go follow your lead, you be leader, leader. Any kill it, carry something with it down, ginger. But your own is bigger, ginger. Make me ginger, ginger. Go follow your lead, you be leader, leader. Any kill it, carry something with it down. But your own is big. Make a put up for your body, baby. No be poison. Anytime when you call, baby. Do the call, do the rap, you like. For your body, baby. No be poison. Anytime when you call, baby. Do the call, do the rap, you like.
That's what I need. Good energy. I don't need no negativity around me. High frequency. I'm talking higher G-O-D. Good energy. I don't need no negativity around me. High frequency. I'm talking higher G-O-D. Started getting more right. Now I waste more days and I live on more nights. I get high on life cause it feels more right, yeah. Tell me what's wrong from right. It's all connected, energy can never die. One in the dark, but I chose to be the light. Look at me funny, I got out your evil light. Words of advice, bitch, don't kill my vibe. No more depression, please don't kill my pride. Road of religion, I'm catching them green lights. Spread out my wings, I'm catching them free flights. Free as a bird, out of sight. Singing every little thing gonna be alright.
Nobody better than I. 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 Nobody better. Nobody better. Nobody better. Nobody better. I stay high, I'm steady on my. You know, fear no one.
www.
Energy 100%, oh, and them no fi comprehend, and them no fi understand. I'm catching flights, I'm day for dance. Nobody better than I. 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 Nobody better than. Nobody better than I. Nobody better.
Never say what you sow, you go reap my basis of life. Yeah. Enemies turn into frenemies, so just to survive. Yeah. But the devil on my back, that's why I'm steady on my grind. You know where I'm from, I'm never going back. Yeah. So give me one for the road. Make me sure you feel body and soul. Pray for the best, leave the rest to follow. Blood in my eye, who go test me, go low. Cause the boy people know. But the devil on my back, that's why I'm steady on my grind. You know where I'm from, I'm never going back. No, 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 no,
Nobody better than I. 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 Nobody better than I.
Jolly, jolly, baby, we forget relationship. I try convince, baby, tell me say no vacancy. I don't notice, say you want to do me wait and say, but the God forbid, baby, contemplate is over. My body out for you for honor. They for my life, you know get the ass under. Any man ponder fire. Say over. My body out for you for corner. They for my life, you know get the ass under. Any man ponder fire. Jolly, carry body. I call police. Say baby, sweet vanilla. I don't notice. Say I know fit to consider. Oh yeah. Jolly, carry body. I call police. Say baby, sweet vanilla. I don't notice. Say I know fit to consider. Oh yeah. Say me I can't let you go.
Do you even love me?
I don't think I can carry on like this.
How can you say that? Not now.
Me I guys let you know. You know me I guys let them show. My Jolie I come take photo. I go feel way for you. I call you Sally. This lovey day sweet for body. On top you I won't waste my money. I want see something. You carry something. You do me something. You keep my confidence. I know if you complete them. Boy I love I go Calcutta. I don't put them. I don't quench my heart inside cooler. I don't carry your matter for ambulance. I get the eye patch it is a mood. So we say over. My body out waiting for you for honor. They for my life you know get the ass under. Any man ponder fire. Say over.
My people, say you be farmer, or you dey do livestock business, or maybe you dey transport crops from farm to market, or you even get warehouse where you dey store farm produce. Abi, you follow join all these technology people. Better news don land oh! This na the Women and Youth Farmers Agripreneur Regional Conference 2024. This one na the ogbonge event by the Nigerian Agribusiness Group (NABG), where you go fit learn how to grow your agribusiness and understand the new trends and technologies wey go help you sustain am and carry am to the next level. This Wayfarc conference will happen for all the 6 regions of the country, starting with Lagos for southwest, Jigawa for northwest, Uyo for south-south, Enugu for southeast, Adamawa for northeast, Kwara for north central. For Wayfarc, you go meet the people wey matter for agribusiness, join body with other people like you, and learn all the new things wey dey sup for the industry. E never finish oh! You fit also showcase your business as one of our ogbonge exhibitors for the various locations. Just carry your phone, scan the barcode for your screen, sharp sharp or visit our website nabg.ng or all our social media platform for the Wayfarc registration barcodes to register. Make you no lose guard o. Na NABG they organize this one with ogbonge support from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. My people, say you be farmer or you dey do livestock business, or maybe you dey transport crops from farm to market, or you even get warehouse where you dey store farm produce. Abi, you follow join all these technology people. Better news don land o. This na the Women and Youth Farmers Agripreneur Regional Conference 2024. This one na the ogbonge event by the Nigerian Agribusiness Group (NABG), where you go fit learn how to grow your agribusiness and understand the new trends and technologies wey go help you sustain am and carry am to the next level. This Wayfarc conference will happen for all the 6 regions of the country, starting with Lagos for southwest, Jigawa for northwest, Uyo for south-south, Enugu for southeast, Adamawa for northeast, Kwara for north central. For Wayfarc, you go meet the people wey matter for agribusiness, join body with other people like you, and learn all the new things wey dey sup for the industry. E never finish o. You fit also showcase your business as one of our ogbonge exhibitors for the various locations. Just carry your phone, scan the barcode for your screen, sharp, or visit our website nabg.ng or all our social media platform for the Wayfarc registration barcodes to register. Make you no lose guard o. Na NABG they organize this one with ogbonge support from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. My people, say you be farmer or you dey do livestock business, or maybe you dey transport crops from farm to market, or you even get warehouse where you dey store farm produce. Abi, you follow join all these technology people. Better news don land o. This na the Women and Youth Farmers Agripreneur Regional Conference 2024. This one na the ogbonge event by the Nigerian Agribusiness Group (NABG), where you go fit learn how to grow your agribusiness and understand the new trends and technologies wey go help you sustain am and carry am to the next level. This Wayfarc conference will happen for all the 6 regions of the country, starting with Lagos for southwest, Jigawa for northwest, Uyo for south-south, Enugu for southeast, Adamawa for northeast, Kwara for north central. For Wayfarc, you go meet the people wey matter for agribusiness, join body with other people like you, and learn all the new things wey dey sup for the industry. E never finish o. You fit also showcase your business as one of our ogbonge exhibitors for the various locations. Just carry your phone, scan the barcode for your screen, sharp, or visit our website nabg.ng or all our social media platform for the Wayfarc registration barcodes to register. Make you no lose guard o. Na NABG they organize this one with ogbonge support from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Please, all of you by the exhibition stands, please, can you come towards the conference area, please? Registration stand, every other place, please come closer. Good morning, everyone. Our guests, farmers, fellow entrepreneurs, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome back to day 2 of our Wayfarc South-South Regional Conference. Yesterday, we planted seeds of knowledge, innovation, and collaboration. Today, we will nurture it, water it, and we will make sure we have harvest and solutions. Day 2 is actually where the real work begins, where the inspiration and the implementation takes place. The DG and the members of staff of NABG and all the team says, welcome. I am still your daughter, Eileen Belema Dewandehin, Enewan, Ekaite, Ayibawa Kokoyo, Imade Adebayo. And of course, I'm here with the wonderful gentleman, Aliyu. Aliyu, good morning.
Good morning.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme is still inclusive agribusiness, leave no one behind. So I'm very certain that we have touched every part of it, so nobody is going to be left behind. I have said the good mornings, but have you said to the person beside you good morning? Have you said hello to the person beside you? How was your night? Hope you rested well. Hope you're ready for today. Are you here to make more contact? Are you here to learn more? Are you here to collaborate and implement what you have learned?
And if you're still sitting down with the person you sat down yesterday, you're wrong. Maybe you should switch so that you can connect and grow together.
I totally agree with that. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are starting today, and today we have a lot of things for you. We have different panel sessions. We are going to learn a lot. So indeed, bring out your notepads because shortly we'll hit the ground running. And this is also a reminder for all your pictures or whatever social media content you have, please do not forget to use the hashtag Wayfarc 2024 and also South South. Is that okay? All right.
All right. Moving on, I would like to start by saying if we can remember what happened yesterday. Just a quick reminder and of some of the things, and let me see if I can get 2 to 3 people who can tell us what they can remember from yesterday. So, can I see a show of hand if you remember?
I would do my...
The first panel session, please. First panel session, what's the topic of the first panel session? Any hands? If there is no hands, I'll have to pick.
I think Dr. Clement has his hand there.
Oh, wonderful. Please.
Or should we be asking Dr. Clement, being that he was on that panel?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Your decision.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I think I recall something like beyond the farm gates. I also recall something like opportunities that exist.
Oh, wow.
And we had a very wonderful members of panel. And one of the panel members said, you must be willing to pay for knowledge in agriculture before you can succeed.
True.
I think that came from Agribusiness, the farmer that was there. There was also this feeling that you cannot just go into farming until you have looked at the strength you have, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that may exist. Those gaps now become your business. But if I'm allowed to leave my own panel, I would say that
I think it's
bamboo became the issue.
Yes.
That bamboo issue that is used by Asians, a Nigerian lady has discovered the gold in bamboo. We start growing bamboo.
Please, a round of applause for him, please. So we need a lady this time around, no panelist. If you were once a panelist, do not raise your hand. Please, a lady. Someone from the kitchen.
We have someone from the kitchen.
Yes.
All right,
so
that's
cool.
cool.
Imagine someone from the kitchen also listening, and all of us here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I was so excited yesterday, even though I was walking there, but someone said something that was so captivating. She said, anywhere you go and you want to do business, you should bring yourself low to fit in with the people around you. She was like, she went somewhere in the north. She dressed the way they dressed, and she was there, like pricing goats and all of that. But they didn't know she was a professor or a doctor. That really touches me where I was, and I think that helped me a lot.
Please, a round of applause for her.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
No, this doesn't do justice. Another round of applause for her, please. Thank you. So, a quick one. Some of the panel sessions we had were well packed. And looking at those things, I believe most of us left here yesterday with a full bag of knowledge. And to get more, I believe you've turned that in your head overnight, and you're here for fresh ones. So please get ready for the next session while we introduce our next panelists. Okay, before we go into the national anthem, we would like to take, before we go into the next panel, we'll take a national anthem. Please, may all rise.
Thank you very much. Please take your seats. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will just hit the ground running and we'll go straight to our panel sessions. Our very first panel session is going to be moderated by our dear Ekaite Bonanza. She is the head media communications of NBG. Please welcome Amra Aliyu.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amra Aliyu, and it's an honor, to do this again. And we're going to be talking about rethinking agriculture, how women and young people can make money with agribusiness. And for this particular panel, do we have a video? I don't think we do, right? Yeah, no. So let's go straight into it. I would be inviting those who would be helping me to dissect this topic. And first on the list is Dr. Anifiok. Dr. Anifiok Iton is the CEO of Bright Flow Foundation for Women and Children. I think you've seen her yesterday. She would be joining me to talk about this important issue. Also, I would be joined by Mr. Olushina Lani Stephens, the founder of Nawiwi Group. Also, Barrister Obiavel Abigo, Pork Chicken and Things Venture. And then last but not the least, Mr. Martin Albicin, Agropreneurs Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited. So please let's clap for them as they join us for this important, very important discussion. So I'll just allow the panelists to introduce themselves quickly before we proceed. I'm going to be starting with the woman, of course. So yeah, please let's have you just briefly tell us your name and what you do in 50 seconds. Thank you.
All right, my name is Dr. Anifiok Iton. I am the president of Bright Flow Conglomerate and Device. My conglomerate is a collection of businesses, and we have like 6 registered companies under Bright Flow Conglomerate. And the name Bright Flow alone carries like 4 companies, which is Bright Flow Logistics, Bright Flow Foundation for Women and Children, Bright Flow Vocational Institute, then the conglomerate itself. Then we also have a trade hub, focused trade diversity. We also have a fashion line, clothing line, Kani and Annie Clothings. Then we have a production line also, Twindies Food. So I'm a total businesswoman, and I cover every area of value chain, economic value chain. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Farmer Martin. I'm the president of Agripreneurs Multipurpose Cooperative Society. I'm a livestock farmer. I'm a palm oil producer, and at the same time, I'm a vegetable farmer. Thank you.
Good morning, all. My name is Barrister Obiavel Abigo. I'm a lawyer, sometimes a politician, every time a farmer. I'm into livestock and crops, lettuce, pigs, chicken, fish.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Olushino Lani Stevens. I run a trading company, basically. So we trade everything from farm produce to real estate, anything that makes money. We, right now, are focusing more on agriculture. So we run a network of farms all over the country, most of them in Cross River State, cocoa, palm oil, palm farm, animal, cassava, and all of that. Thank you.
So my name is Dr. Anyefiok Iton. I'm the president of Bright Flow Conglomerate and Device. Yeah. So like I said, Bright Flow Conglomerate is a collection of companies, businesses. And I try to cover every area of economic value chain, from logistics and supply chain management to education, mentorship and training, to food processes, clothing line, and import and export. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very, very much to everyone. So let's start by this important, question. And this is for each of you. In what ways, I'm going to start by with you, Mr. Larry, Mr. Olushino, sorry. And I wanted to know, in your introduction, you talked more on the business. You're a businessman more than anything, based on what you just said. And yeah, I wanted to know in what ways you believe, young people can redefine success when it comes to agribusiness today, what it is. How can they redefine it? So from the normal agri that we all know to business, right? How can you understand? Yes, so this is across board.
Okay, so first things first, we need to understand that for young people are restless people, right? Very impatient for change and want it now. And when they get it now, they want it to change again into something new, again, now. So it's a hard sell. And I've been working with young people for about a year in agriculture. So one of our companies is now We Agro, and our vision is to attract 1 million young people into agriculture by the end of 2026. It was audacious, and now we've moved it to 2027. Because we have learned that the agricultural story in Nigeria, as it is today, does not attract young people, right? The first thing a young person thinks about when you talk about agriculture is broke people, right? So first of all, we need to figure out a way to show results. So no young person is going to come to agriculture because you talk about how interesting it is. They're going to come into agriculture because it gives them results, right? So I'm going to tell you a story that is totally unrelated to agriculture, but that's exactly what we need to do with agriculture. So today, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, the Nigerian music industry was zero value, really. Zero value. Okay. So the Nigerian music industry was zero value about 20, 30 years ago. Old men were singing Fuji and Juju, Dadakwada, whatever else, all over the country. And on our radio stations, by 1995, when we started having private radio stations, on our radio stations, you would hear only American music, right? Hip hop, this and that. And then some guys came up on a radio station in Lagos called Wayfarc, and then, started trying out Nigerian music, and then you started hearing about Idris Abdul Karim and Two-Face and the rest of them. It wasn't really making money, right? They were broke guys, to be honest. They were just cheap blings and all of that, right? And then Kenny and D1, they started going to the Grammys. For the first time in this part of the world, we could actually see these stars, not on music videos, but like real human beings, talked to by real human beings who actually happen to be Nigerians. For the first time, we realized that this was possible, right? And then the young people started coming. Fast forward 30 years, and that industry is about $19 billion. No government input, no palliative, no empowerment, nothing, no policy. These young people saw possibility. They saw results, right? And these results were not even tangible results. They were just, we can do this. This guy did it, we can do it. Today, on the streets of New York, South Africa, anywhere you go, Spain, it's Nigerian music, right? Because the moment you show a Nigerian young person possibility, they don't even need you to say it's okay when they fall. They're going to get that thing done, right? So we need to, first of all, change the narrative around the possibilities in agriculture. And one of the things we have started doing is infusing, showing is way beyond farming, right? So when you talk about agriculture, you're talking about livestock, you're talking about crop production, but there's technology. There's apps, right? There's satellite technology, there's app technology, there's precision farming, AI. And when we started talking about AI, everybody was interested. Like, okay, AI, we can do this. Yeah, I said, yeah, we can do this. And then we're training them to, use their phones and use. And I bet you that if we continue to show the possibilities beyond just planting things. I know young people who were really smart with knowing how to, so they can research, right? That's their strength. And then the people in the fish farming, industry, they're complaining of the high cost of feed, right? So we're getting young people together to say, okay, you don't have to be a fish farmer, but can you figure out how to create food for? And right now, we have a few young people in Lagos who are doing, they're doing, forgive my French, crazy things. Like, they are taking things from ordinary, waste and creating food. And right now, what we're trying to do is get them properly structured in such a way that, can you turn this to a product, right? That you can, sell. So, first of all, open up the possibility. You can't get young people into a gig where everybody is complaining. Nobody is looking like anything can happen. And for the first time, and tell the right stories. So we're talking about tomato farming, and all they are thinking about is how tomato comes from the north. And I say to them, okay, let's go around the world, and we don't have to travel. This is the best time to live, to be alive. It's 21st century. Why do you have to worry your head so much? So we go on the internet and say, okay, what are people doing? And then we find a little village. It's about 500,000 square meters. So I don't know how to. So if you know a place like Agribusiness in Cross River State, right? That village in southern Spain is like half that size. They do 700 million euros every year planting tomatoes in greenhouses, right? And then we're telling young people, this is possible, right? And immediately their brains are open, like, okay, so we have a problem, we can't raise money. How do we do this? Okay, can you build greenhouses using bamboos? Can you build greenhouses in your houses, right? The third thing we're trying to do is make them work together. Because you don't have the money. We're not in America or the US where you can get money, you know, just by having a great idea. So your great ideas are not good enough. So we're trying to get them to work together. So for those of them who are interested in actual agriculture, whether it's animal or crop production, we are getting them to work together to own farms, right? And creating access to land ownership for them in such a way that they can come together in clusters and, you know, form a company, form a cooperative, whatever you want to call it. And you have 50K, that one has 20K, and, you know, show them how shareholding works in a proper company, you know, and everybody has a shareholding in this business. Okay, so they own lands. We show them how to do the farming. We show them where the market is, right? Because it's not even enough for you to know how to produce something. It's also, where is the market? Because if you're planting cassava just because everybody eats gari, but everybody that eats gari is still broke, right? So where exactly is the market? If the market is not available, there's no need to plant. If you don't, first of all, know, okay, this is where I'm going to put, so we're showing them the market. And then we realize that people are now finding their own niches. Some of them are basically just distributing. Some of them are basically just planting. So the guy planting is not worrying about where to sell, because there's somebody else in that chain that we've created, that his own head is about how to connect all the people in this room. He walks in this room, he already knows everybody, he already knows everybody's number, he already knows what everybody needs. Stay in your own place, right? And all of that. So basically, it's overall tell the right stories and, you know, create possibilities, show them possibilities.
Thank you very much. Thank you, yeah, Mr. Larry. So the same question, how do we redefine success for agribusiness today, especially for young people? And when I say how do we redefine, I mean, how do we make it, you know, attractive for young people to get into? Like Mr. Lani said, I hope I got it right this time, yeah. So like he said, young people see it as something that, you know, is not profitable or is not something they can go into. How do we, you know, make it attractive? That to the extent he talked about music, I mean, he gave a reference with the music industry. How do we get there to the extent where I can come up and say, okay, I know that I could do this, and this is how to do it, and this is, and I love the reference with even how you talked about connecting to, you know, the market space, connecting to people who would buy your market. And I love the reference when you talked about there are people who their work is just to connect people. They know everyone, and what they want to do is connect you to someone. But, you know, it's also something to look into. So how do we, you know, see how we can redefine it for young people? Our focus is young people and women.
Okay, once again, my name is Farmer Martin. I think I resonate with what he said. And first, I would like to share my story, because I'm a young person too. But my story cuts across to every other agripreneur out there. So it starts with me in school. I schooled in the University of Jos. And we get foodstuffs very, very affordable when it comes to vegetables, when it comes to all our crops. And I go back to Bielsa. I realized I couldn't get anything. I couldn't get my tomato, I couldn't get my pepper, and practically to do breakfast was very expensive. So I said, oh, hunger is a crime, I have to get involved. And I got involved, I met the boss. He was, I think he was a politician, and he told me, Martin, I can give you a job in Agip, but I have a palm oil mill, and I have a cassava processing equipment that I can empower you with. I was like, yeah, I'll go for palm oil because I was selling palm oil in Jos when I was in school. And we started producing palm oil. Gradually, he called me one day, Martin, do you know you can start planting palm trees? And in 4 years, you start harvesting. But I know you don't have land for it because it costs a whole lot to plant palm trees. It takes like 9 trees for a plot of land, so you really need a whole lot of land. And I looked into it. I was like, okay, I have friends. I have big friends that have lands, and we could start. So we started with 200 plots. I went to Naifo in Benin, got seedlings, and we planted. Gradually, we got into livestock, and I realized I can't do this on my own. We need a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. So why not get a team? We started recruiting. My partner is here. We started recruiting, getting young ones. And in 2 years ago, let's say 23 months ago, I had a nanny. And I looked at her, I was like, see, we're terminating your job by December. And I know what happens in the Niger Delta, in the South, what happens to young girls. I'm like, I have a friend, he's in Abeokuta. You could go enroll for his program called EYA, Enterprise for Youth in Agriculture. And she enrolled for it. She's been there 22 months. Sorry, I think I need to play a video. Media, please, can you play that video for me? So my story is around a young lady called Ifiemi Robert.
Auntie, I want to be a doctor when I grow up.
Clap for her.
Auntie, I want to be a farmer when I grow up.
Ìwé kíkọ́ láìsí ọkọ́ àti àdá kò ì pẹ́ o, kò ì pẹ́ o. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè.
In the South, it was suffering from a confirmation bias, where by confirmation bias I mean we accept the norm. Sorry. By confirmation bias I mean we accept the norm which we ought to reject. In psychology, I'm a psychologist by profession. We have a saying called error 1, error 2. Error 1 is we accept what we ought to reject, and error 2 is we reject what we ought to accept. Both are still errors. You know, and I realized we really need to move above and move ahead of the confirmation bias to a collaboration bias, where we can get everybody in the agricultural value chain to get involved, get young people involved, and all we've been doing for 22 months right now, we've been getting young people to see agriculture very sexy. We've been getting young people to see agriculture as the new oil. So right now, all I do, apart from the jobs we get to do in agriculture, all I do every 3 months is take young people to Abeokuta, get them enrolled for this program by MasterCard, and also get them back to their various states. So we're pushing. I think everybody here has a role to play because it's not an individual role, it's a collective role. So I think we should come together, collaborate. I like what Mr. Lanry is doing with trading. I think Afex is doing the same thing. And if we have someone like this in the Niger Delta pushing so hard, we need to collaborate more. We need to make sure we can get our cocoa, produce chocolates. Instead of exporting jobs, let's import those. Let's make sure we develop more jobs here. Get more people to come to Cross River and look at, oh, we have cocoa, we can actually have chocolates, we can actually have beverages, and we could be intentional about it. So I think we have a whole role to play. Thank you, NABG, for this opportunity. I hope we'll have this more again, and I think you guys are doing very, very wonderful here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin, and thank you for the story. Mr. Obiaville, the same question, though I also want you to add a bit of context to specific skills needed for, young people. I mean, I'm going to go around, especially for Mr. Lani, to give us, more context on that, but I want you to not only tell us how young people can, how we can make agribusiness attractive to young people, but also hammer on skills, specific skills that, young people can adopt or adapt to succeed here.
Okay, basically, to me, first of all, the figures are very important when you want to involve young people in agribusiness. So what I do is this. I'm from Rivers State. Growing up, they said we were 6 million, the population was 6 million. So I've brought in some kids into the state, so I believe we're about 10 million now. So what I say is this, food, basic food, is about 3,000 naira per meal. We have those people who do buffet for 16,000, some eat 40,000 per meal. So I keep telling people that averagely, we are 10 million people here. And everybody must eat at least 5,000 naira daily. 10 million times 5,000 naira is about 50 billion. Then we in the evening, some take suya, some barbecue fish, some fresh juice, and all that. That is another 20 to 30 billion naira involved. So you tell people, we have 50 to 80 billion naira spent on food every day. How much are you getting from it? So when they get the figures, they become interested. Most of us go into agribusiness without knowing the figures. I'm very practical. I know how much I can get from cassava on one plot. I know on one plot I should be getting 1 ton, 1.2 ton, if it's bad, 700 kg. I know cultivating a plot of land will take me less than 50,000 naira, and a ton of cassava is 150,000 naira. We need to learn the maths to know that if you do these things, you can't plant cassava today and expect to harvest in 8, 7, 6 months, where your problems are daily, monthly, weekly. So you have to batch these things. So every month is an harvest month. So even a young man that has just 10 plus and will have a ton from one plot has 1.5 million naira every month. After 6 months, you don't need stems, you have excess stems, so your cost of production will be reducing. We need to teach people this. Then when it comes to skills in agribusiness, these skills are not expressly learned. We have packaging, we have processing, we have export. They are not skills you really learn in the school. You learn these things by being interested and following people that do these things. If we teach people the figures involved in agribusiness early enough. I started agriculture, I was about 17 or 18 years old. But luckily, I had a mother that was doing a little poultry at the backyard. I had a father that had guava, palm, and all that. So I knew there was something in it. Then when I was around 20-something years, agribusiness brought me into politics. I became vice chairman of council at 20-something. Why? The chairman of council then wanted, his chickens were dying. They said, oh, this boy knows how to take care of chicken. He knows what is involved. We became friends. In no time, I became vice chairman of council. Later, I became caretaker chairman. Later, I became caretaker member and all that. So agriculture, because I know agriculture, I became a politician. So these things are intentional, but the figures are very important for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. So, Dr. Anifiok, to you now, over to you. How young people can, get it. How young people can come in.
Okay, I was even thinking I will face the women, but the young people, because my own model, I target everybody. I don't segregate whether you are a young person, you are a man or a woman. And I think most of my friends are young people. And in fact, I have been, everybody calls me Big Mommy because I've always been there to guide them, encourage them, and see how I can guide them to get something doing with their life. I keep telling them you can start from somewhere. And with that, we have created a lot of platforms. One, in fact, right now we're going deep into churches to talk with the congregation about skills development, starting from agribusiness. Because like I said, my business environment exposes me to what we can do and what we have and how we can utilize it to make money, to make it a business. And young people are always my own focus point because we see a lot of them calling you all kinds of names and asking, for you to meet their needs. But at the end of the day, you ask them, what do you want to do? By the time the discussion gets to that level, they won't call you again. And you tell them no. Nobody ever get rich by, sitting down at the receiving end. You only call maybe someone you look up to as a mentor, as a role model, when you are in need. Maybe an urgent 2K, an urgent 10K. No, you can't grow like this. And I tell them, come. We have a trade hub. We have a training facility by which we can train you to at least get a skill. You can start from somewhere. Dr. Morris seated there is one of us in the group. And what do? We bring these people in and we tell them, this and this is what you can do, starting from the farm. And me being an international trade consultant also helps because from the training I've attended on standard and quality, you don't just go into an open market to buy food products for exports. No, because of infiltration and contamination, it has to be from farm to processing factory, then to the port. And you can't sit at the fence and think that somebody will bring you maybe tomato all the way from the north for you to be able to meet up with the market. Because international trade, every minute counts. Every hour counts. So you must go into the farm and plant that product that you want to export. So we encourage them by making sure that we bring them in for training, mentorship, and also see how we can empower them. That's what we do at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much. So, yes, you can clap. So I'm going to have Mr. Olushino tell us about, branding has become increasingly important over the years, not only in agribusiness, but in any business at all. So I want you to give us a bit of, highlight on how you built your own brand and what strategies you've used to differentiate you from, to differentiate your business from the others, from other market, from other people doing the same business as you. So now we're talking branding, basically, how you've evolved and, one or two chip-ins for young people also who are trying to get in or who are already in but trying to scale up.
Thank you. So, the strategies for personal branding, is that what you're talking?
Yeah, sorry. And I wanted to add something also. You talked about technology. I want you to also chip in some ideas of some specific technologies that young people can, employ or adopt to get their agribusinesses going. So branding with branding, technology comes in a way, and I don't want to separate that so we don't, so let's.
Okay, that's a tough one. So, for personal branding, okay, so let's take it back to the brass tack. The most important thing is need, right? If you're not meeting a need, and a need is not perceived, so you cannot have a perceived need, especially in agribusiness. So, for example, I mean, he just made a very important point, like, so there's excess food in Jos, and less than 6,000 kilometers away, there's no food. So you want to build a brand, you've got to go there and meet the need. That's the first thing, because a brand must meet a need. So when people talk about branding, they are always carried away with colors and logos and nice English and all of that. That's not branding. Branding is who am I and what am I about and who resonates with me. And people can only resonate with you when you are really solving the problem. Now, the problem we have in agribusiness is everybody is trying to do what everybody is doing, right? So everybody wants to package Gary in some nice pack. Everybody wants to package palm, plantain, you know, I don't know. Yeah, that's fancy, but who needs it, right? Who needs it? Because if you don't know who needs it, if you cannot say for specific, this is who needs this product, and this is the number of the people who need that product, all of that colors and logos and, you know, nice packaging, they are for nothing. They're really, it's just a plain waste of time, to be honest. And that's why people keep talking about agribusiness being, oh, we need money, we need money. No, we don't need money, because there's money to be made. This year alone, this country, you and I, plus our government, plus all our taxes, everything, we're going to pay 4.3 trillion naira to buy food. Not to produce food, to buy food from abroad. 4.3, that's money that can pay, build roads, build bridges, build schools, build hospitals. We're going to spend it on food. And that is not perceived money, right? That is available money that we must spend, even if we have to borrow it from IMF. Now, we have products. We can produce this product. So those of us, so let me track back a bit. You know, this branding issue, you know, agriculture, and those of us in agribusiness need to understand the role we play. It's not a business like medicine or any other thing, carpentry, you know. It's an existential business. Like, it's a business, if we don't do it, Africa remains poor. If we don't do this thing called agriculture, Africa will forever remain poor. Our children, well, maybe not those of us who can hustle, but African children are going to continue to remain hungry. In Sudan now, there's a war going on that is ravaging the people. Do you see it in the news? You don't see it in the news. It has become inconsequential. Why? Because we are not productive, right? And production has to start from going to where the needs are. So somebody was saying something yesterday that made me very humble. I was thinking about it. I can't remember her name. The lady, livestock farming. That is what we have to do. So don't focus on, first of all, find the need. Touch the need. Be sure the need is there. Be sure that the people are ready for it. And, you know, people farm, you know, I'm a rice farmer, I'm a this farmer. Why do you even need to brand?
Sorry, can I add to you?
For visibility, I guess. Well,
to you?
Before you add to him,
I'm going to answer that question of branding.
We're not productive.
Productive is, so when I say we are not productive,
what do you mean
I didn't say we are not producing.
Okay.
I said we're not productive. So productive is, there's no reason why there should be excess food in Jos and no food in Bayelsa. Do you understand? Because there's a lacuna there that's not filled. Right? And that's where we start our branding journey from. So when I go to Bielsa and I create a solution to that problem, I become a brand. Do you understand? And everybody looks to me. Right? I don't stand out by going to Jos and trying to compete with the potato farmers, because I can't become a standout brand. So a brand must first solve a problem. And that's why even, so somebody asked me, why does Coca-Cola continue to advertise?
For refreshments.
For refreshment. And they sell that idea to my head. Every time I need refreshment, I'll tell you a secret. Every time I eat a food I don't like, I need to drink Coke, because that's the solution to the bad food. So, okay.
Okay, so adding to you, I think we need to look inwards. I said I was a livestock farmer, and we have a problem with feed right now with our pigs. We had to look inwards, we had to be innovative. And one day we realized we could feed our pigs with water hyacinth. So now we farm water hyacinth. But if you check our budget in the, if you check our budget, hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you check our budget with the Niger Delta Development Commission, you see there is an allocation for people to take off water hyacinth from our rivers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine empowering pig farmers or empowering livestock farmers to get water hyacinth out of the rivers, dehydrate them, grind them, add value to our feed. So you could get more proteins. So that's for water hyacinth. We could also use them for fertilizers. I saw someone in Uganda that has a small farm. She recycles the farm like Shanghai Farms. She makes sure that she doesn't get any fertilizer outside. So she gets organic fertilizer. Same thing goes with our plantain. You look at the plantain tree, the first thing that comes to your head is, as you cut the plantain, you throw away the stalk. Plantain can be used for fiber if we decide to add value to it. So our duty as agripreneurs is to encourage these young people, tell them to look inwards, look at the value chain of agriculture, from processing, from input to output. Look at where you can actually play a role. See how you can make that role very, 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 very interesting for you. We have content development right now going on. We do not have anybody doing that in agriculture. We lack lawyers. We don't have lawyers today in agriculture protecting local farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Today we have challenges with the media. You want to do anything in agriculture, you go to the media tells you, hey, you have to pay like a politician, because why? Agric is the new money. And we look at it like, why don't we have actors actively engaged in this? Get these young people to get fully involved. So if we really have to brand, we have to look for a problem and solve that problem.
And solve the problem.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
I think if we are part of a solution, we are also part of the problem.
So it's okay. I want to also say something briefly on branding. I think that's what the question that you asked. And I want to say there's a saying that goes, there's something in a name. And as the only woman here, I think I'm representing all women. And that word womanhood is a brand. Am I communicating? And that brand, being a woman, you know, gives you a responsibility. And you being or intending to go into agribusiness of any kind, first of all, you should think of, what do I want people to know me for? Just as someone that earns in the farm, or somebody that sells pepper in the market. That's how you build your brand. And if I want to buy pepper, you know, I can decide to go into an open market to buy pepper. But because Mr. A, that young man that plants pepper, you know, at one village, package it very well, you know, and brings it to my house, deliver it to my house. And maybe I know him by the name Mr. Pepe. You can start branding from there. And from me, you know, I will tell my friend to tell a neighbor that Mr. Pepe can deliver to your house. You made mention of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola started somewhere. And today, a lot of other brands are selling under Coca-Cola. Why? Because they've made a name for themselves. I don't know if time will permit me to tell you a bit about my story. You know, when we built Bright Flow Conglomerate as a brand, the intention was just to brand the name Bright Flow, since we were doing a lot of businesses with the name. And I was afraid that if I don't go into, registering the name for, a trademark and all of that, I might just sit here and I open internet one day and I see Bright Flow, something. I say, okay, let me go into Ministry of Trade and Investment to brand the name Bright Flow. And at the end of the day, what the Ministry of Trade and Investment did was, what business are you doing? And I said, I'm into logistics and supply chain management. They said, oh, that's fine. They now added the word device and now gave me a license to move both products and services by air, by land, and by sea. So seated here, I can even own an aircraft. I can own a ship. I can own trailers. That is what branding is all about. You can always start somewhere with a single name and build a brand. So that even if at the end of the day, I might end up as a mother of 5 children, not being able to purchase an aircraft and put in the airport, my children can come to build on that brand. So branding is a statement by which you must build it with an intention that it shouldn't just end with you, but children yet unborn should come to appreciate your brand. Thank you.
Wow. That's sustainability, kind of. Well, if it works, it works. Barrister Obiavel, I'd like you to talk about your biggest challenge, the biggest challenge you faced when you started and how you overcame it, and what opportunities you think young people are overlooking in this agribusiness sector. So two in one.
My biggest challenge so far was the flooding before COVID-19. During the when I started going big, when I thought I was big enough, I decided to go back to my village where I can access land. So I started, when I was thinking I was big enough, I decided to go back to the village where I think I can access a lot of land, try to create a community where we can produce, like you said, I said, okay, we'll produce many things in the local setting. So I'll look like the champion. I'll look like the champion in the village where people, their livelihood would depend on me. So I can also use that politically to gather them. But along the line, the flood came. When the flood came, I lost everything. It was challenging, but I was still young. I didn't have bills on me. So I said I have to move back to the city and continue. We started in the city. We started well. We had the poultry. We had the cold room. We had everything in the cold chain and all that. The flood came. The COVID-19 came in. Now, because we do these things on our own, we did not have all the knowledge. I had a cold room then. I stocked my cold room with about 10,000 chicken during COVID-19. There was no way to sell this. It stayed in the cold room till around February when the place opened up. We started supplying. As we were supplying, they were returning. We were supplying and people were returning that the chicken was bad. I was wondering why the chicken would be bad when it was in the cold room for that long. Then I realized there's something called a blast. The blast kicks the product within 3 hours, and it can stay for as long as 4, 5, 6 months. I did not know that. I thought a cold room was something you can preserve your livestock in. So the COVID-19 hit me strongly, and as usual, as Nigerians, we know we don't have support from anywhere when you have issues, unlike other countries where they know agriculture is the main thing. Agriculture is security. Agriculture, without agriculture, there is no security. First of all, we talk about banditry and insecurity in Nigeria. If we are truly doing agriculture, there will be no bush for these people to hang around. We'll make use of our... Growing up when we were young, in Bayelsa, you hear Basambri and Ebelemabri fighting. In River State, you hear Okrika and Ogoni fighting. Communities were fighting with communities. So 10 boys in the bush with AK-47 cannot stop a community from farming or using their land. But because I will go alone, they pick me up. 2 other people go alone, they pick them up. You know, but if we are serious with agriculture, there will be no bush for these people to hang around. You know, so insecurity will drop. Then again, if we are serious with agriculture and we can eat, the moment you finish eating, what you think about is sleeping. So you can't finish eating a proper meal and start carrying guns to look for someone to catch. Because the kidnapping we talk about today is still it's hunting, it's agriculture. So instead of hunting humans, you'll be hunting animals. So, so the greatest challenge was the flood, then the COVID-19. The flood is around again. Even as we are here, we've been getting signals of the level of water. You know, this has been happening for so many years now, but there is still no solution. I will not be the man to get a solution to the flooding. All I can do is, I tell people now, flood comes, stays, and resides within 40 days. And we have 365 days in a year. So we can still walk, even with the flood. But it will only reduce our production. So the flood and the COVID-19 were my greatest challenges. And I think they are not man-made.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Thank you. Quickly, and on a final note for everyone, but right now I want to go to Mr. Martin. I want you to just briefly, please, if you could advise a young person who is considering entering this agribusiness sector, but doesn't know where to start, what would you tell that person?
I'll tell the young person, first, unlearn everything you know. Open your mind to learn new things. Then, work on the acronym of OPM, or let me not say OPM. OPM is other people's money. Let's say, look for people that failed. Go and meet them and ask them why they failed. Yeah, I think you really need to learn from other people's experience, because that is how far you can grow. There's this saying we have. Let's say if you want to grow in agriculture, you have to fail for 3 years before you can grow. I don't think we have 3 years to fail. Look for someone that has failed for 3 years and ask them, hey, how did you fail? Why did you fail? In this sector, if it's poultry, if it's in livestock, you do that. I've made that mistake during the COVID-19. We anticipated that we won't have livestock in Bayelsa, so we got 181 goats into Bayelsa. I lost practically 94 goats in less than 3 weeks. Why? Because I got goats from Sokoto. They were eating dusa. I was supposed to get from Jos. If I knew, I would have gotten from Jos, because the goats in Jos eat grass. But the goats in Sokoto eat dusa. That's the shaft of corn and beans and that. And I asked myself, why didn't I just ask the livestock farmer? Why didn't I just ask the butchers? Hey, where do I get this goats from? And, you know, that's how it goes. So you must learn from other people's experiences if you want to scale young people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just learned something. So the goats in Sokoto do not eat dusa.
No, they
eat dusa. They don't eat grass.
They don't eat grass. So
and the ones in Jos
eat more of grass.
Okay.
So sorry, let me just make this clear. They didn't just die of something extraordinary. They died of diarrhea.
Wow.
At that point in time, we didn't know charcoal could solve it. And so I lost those amount of goods to not having the knowledge. So if I had that knowledge, it would have been done. So we learned the hard way.
Thank you. Mr. Olushino, quickly, please. Looking ahead, what do you think the future holds for young people in agribusiness? What trends do you think they should look out for, they should prepare for while they are here?
The future is very bright for young people in agriculture. Like I said, we just need to cultivate a system where we can work together, because going alone makes the journey hard. From May to June, we're going to start planting in July, if the seasons are correct. Technology has also made it possible that you actually can plant whatever you want to plant if you can create the right environment for them all year round. All year round. All year round. So young people need to look at technology, learn more, learn, collaborate.
Thank you very much. Learn, collaborate. Yeah, you can clap if you want to. Dr. Anifiok, the same question for Mr. Martin. Advice for young people who want to get in here but do not know how to. Just briefly, please.
Okay, I want to encourage the young people to be open to learning, be submissive, and talk to someone. Yes. Submissive might sound very odd because I think they say submissive is just for the woman. No. If you want to learn, you must humble yourself. You must submit to a mentor. Okay. So you can be teachable. Yes. When I mean submissive, I'm not talking about the kind of woman who's submissiveness. I mean being open to learning and allowing yourself to be taught. A lot of young people are not always ready to learn. They are always in a hurry. So if you don't submit to learning, nobody will come to your house to teach you. You must get a mentor. You must be ready to learn new things. At least get some skill. Like I always say, there's no amount of money. Like somebody said, I didn't know there's OPM. Other people's money. That acronym is very funny, but it's the truth. Other people's money till tomorrow is not your money. My daddy's money, my uncle's money, people have outgrown that. What is your own brand? What can you do with your life? Who are you without your parents, if someone should ask you as a young person? If you should travel today, this Jackpot syndrome and all of that, what will you be known for? And all of that. So be open to learning. Learn, unlearn, and relearn.
Thank you very, very much, Ma. And Dr. I'm touched. Same thing, just a few advice for young people who want to get into the space.
Well, young people that want to get into this space, our advice, they start with trading. Over time, I've realized that the trader has nothing much to lose. The producer does not even have a proper record of how much he has spent because maybe he doesn't add his car fuel and all that. But the trader comes here, picks it for 10 naira and sells for 15 naira. So whatever you want to do, if you want to go into poultry, start trading chicken. You buy from farmers, you sell. The profit is clear. When you see how clear it is, if you think you can do production, then you go into production. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you, everyone. In essence, branding works, depending how you go about it. Be open to learning, learn from other people's mistakes, know who you are. Who are you? What are you doing? What do you want to, what problems do you want to solve? And like Barrister Obiavel just said, start with trading, right? So thank you very much. This was really insightful. Now we're going to be having our group photograph and we vacate, we disappear. Thank you very much. You can